StoryMakers, welcome back. We are on chapter 5 of our great big story of creation. But really quick, in the next 10 seconds, I want you to yell out as many birds as you can think of. Ready? And that includes like ducks, you could name a goose, you could say a bluebird, just as many as you can in the next 10 seconds. Are you ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah! How many did you get? That's amazing! Well, before we get started, why don't you go get your zine, grab those tools, and meet me right back here. Guys, now that you've got all your tools and your zines, let's open on up to page 35 and take a look at our visual for today. Look at these, look at this, I believe this is a squid because it's got kind of a like triangle head. And look, this is a hammerhead shark. Whoa. And you know, hammerheads, their heads are kind of like long, like a hammer would be on top, and then their bodies are like super straight, just like the handle of a hammer. And did you know that their eyes are on the sides of their heads? So cool, right? And look, there's a duck. And it looks like this is a dolphin that's jumped out, and this is the tail of a whale. And we've got some birds up here. We've got a toucan. That looks like a flying flamingo up here in the corner. Guys, I think this is a parrot right here. And look, a seagull, right? I know you guys have seen the movie Finding Nemo. Remember the seagull that like helps Nemo's dad, Marlin, find him? Wow, and look, there's a jellyfish right here. So beautiful. And look at these colors. You've got like the reds and the blues. You know, when you mix red and blue, it usually makes purple. But this is really cool because the colors are kind of working together, right? This is really awesome. Well, I can't wait to see how God made all of these animals and what he named them. So let's jump on over to our script and see. And I've got Henry here again to help me read. So Henry, can you be God one more time?
Sure.
Awesome, and I'll be the narrator. Let's get started. God saw the plants and flowers were good, and he created more.
I will fill my seas, dolphins, seals, fishes, sharks, turtles, narwhals. I love the birds of the air and the animals of the sea, but my lands are bare.
Then God filled his lands.
Rhinos, dinosaurs, alligators, gorillas, giraffes, lions, camels, lizards, snakes, and sloths.
God loved his creatures and saw they were good, but he wasn't finished.
What?
Ooh, I wonder what he could be making next. Thanks for reading, Henry.
Thank
Whoa, guys, did you hear all the names of those creatures that God created? I mean, have you ever even taken an up-close look at a peacock or a coral reef? And that is just a glimpse into God's big, huge, really amazing imagination. God created everything up above and below, from the birds in the air to the fish in the sea. And do you know how many actual species live in the water, like down in the seas, in the ocean? Not 100, not 1,000, not even 100,000. Scientists believe there are over 1 billion species that live in our oceans, and most of them haven't even been discovered yet. I mean, what must God's imagination look like if he can think of that many animals? It's crazy, right? Well, I've got 2 big questions for you, but I need you to get a couple of your tools out. Okay, so my first question is this. Of all the lands and ecosystems that there are, which would be your favorite habitat to live in? Now, a habitat is just a sciencey word for a place where plants and animals live. And an ecosystem just means all the things that also exist in that place. So, of all the lands and ecosystems, which would be your favorite habitat to live in? The jungle, the desert, or the North Pole? The jungle, the desert, or the North Pole? I think I would want to live in the jungle because there are a lot of green things and a lot of like trees and stuff that you can use to make your own house, and there's so many fruits and awesome things to eat there too, so I'd want to live in the jungle. My second question is this. God created every species of animal you can think of, and they all do so many different things. So, if you were to create an animal, what would you want it to do? What would you want your animal to do? I think I would want mine to be able to dance and run and play the saxophone because I love some smooth jazz, but also maybe create air bubbles so that I can explore the sea underwater with my animal. It'd be so cool, right? So what would you want your animal to be able to do? You can write your answer, you could draw your answer. Use that imagination. Anything you want. Now, let's jump over and do our activity. All right, guys, today we are creating some creatures. So remember all those ideas that you just jotted down on the page before this? I want you to bring all of those together and make your own creature. So I have my fish because obviously, you know, the air bubbles, we got to be underwater. So it's got to be a fish. And here's his saxophone here that he plays through a little like hole, just like a whale, you know, blows water out of the top. His saxophone sits in there. And if I have the air bubble around my head, I'm able to hear the smooth jazz that he's playing. And then right here is a pocket for his little legs to come out if he's on land. And here is a pocket for his little hands to come out when he wants to play some smooth jazz on that saxophone. Now that you know what my animal looks like, go ahead, use the descriptions that you wrote down on the page before this and create your own animal. Send me pics or show your grown-up. It'll be super fun. Use that imagination, use all those tools, and get to it. Guys, what a fun lesson we had today, learning about how God created all of the animals that we see on our planet today. Now, before we leave, let's say a little prayer. Dear God, Thank you for creating the dolphins and the sharks, the turtles and narwhals, the rhinos, alligators, gorillas, every animal that you've ever created, even the dinosaurs. In your name I pray. Amen. Well, guys, this was a super fun lesson, and next week's going to be even more fun. So I'll see you there. Bye.